Talk to me about how, so, we started doing day in the life videos for people that have been hurt and catastrophic injuries.
We want to talk about that
Yeah.
after this.
How does that play into like the deposition and, making sure that they're like, how is a personal injury attorney using that video?
So day in the life videos are designed to put a juror, right? It's not going to be as persuasive for a judge who's just been there before. But a juror is probably somebody that's been impaneled maybe for the first time ever. And the only experience they have is what you see on Law and Order or one of the court shows or maybe a movie. That's what they think that the world in a legal situation should look like. So part of what you do is you want to put on that show. You want to meet their expectations.
Right.
Now, you don't want to be a clown, but day in the life videos are important because it's really hard to conceptualize how a severe injury or even a minor injury can affect somebody if you haven't been there.
Right.
Right. So like what I have told my clients recently, and it's true, I hurt my back probably about 5 years ago now. And I recovered, but now I have a new appreciation for what it's like to have a herniated disc in your back. And when people say they have back pain, they can't get out of bed. Like, I've been there now. I didn't have surgery, but I did all the other things before surgery. And luckily I was able to rehab and get better. But because of that, I have a new appreciation for what are the procedures like? I can tell you, hey, I thought that injection I got was a nothing burger. I was in and out. I was awake. I was talking to the doctors. It took all of 30 seconds. And if they would have let me, I would have driven home, but they tell you can't. So I didn't. But to be able to explain to somebody, hey, I would go do this because I think it's going to help you. And at worst, like, you shouldn't be as worried about it. You shouldn't be as anxious about the unknown because I can explain to you exactly what it's going to be like. So I think the day in the life videos, they're designed to take those jurors who have never been there. They don't know what it's like to walk a day in this person's shoes. Let's see what it's like now. Maybe they're going to do flashbacks to what it was like before, if there's any content there, because words only go so far, and an emotional plaintiff can be perceived as being coached. Hopefully the video, if done right.
Are you showing the video in trial?
If they'll let you.
Do they let you?
Sometimes. It depends. But of course, like, you want them out there so that the other side knows, hey, this is going to be, even if you don't get the video, this is what you're going to get in terms of testimony and visuals if we can present them. It just depends on where you are. State court can be more loose.
Does that bring up the value of the case?
It can. It depends, right? So I'm sorry to say that all the time.
Sure.
But,
such a lawyerly thing to say.
It is, but I think that when you lay all the cards on the table, you can understand better why it depends.
Right.
I call it the three legs of the stool. Like, any case is the three legs of the stool. You've got liability, who's at fault, damages, what do they owe, and then coverage. And the coverage can be more important than any, because you could get rear-ended on vets right out here and have the same exact injuries, same liability facts. But if you get hit by a company vehicle or an 18-wheeler as opposed to a Mazda Miata or a Honda Civic, and God forbid the guy doesn't have insurance or has the minimum, which in this state's $15,000, your injuries are the same. The trauma is the same. The liability facts are the same. But what you can recover, it's a world difference.
Right.
People need to understand that. And sometimes, you need to wrap your head around, what are you going to go after a defendant that has no money? Like, yeah, $15,000 is inadequate, but what are you going to do? You're going to try to bankrupt the guy and spend 5 years chasing after something you're never going to collect?